Well, g'day and welcome to video log 2. As you can see today, I'm driving our Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV today because our i-miev is broken. Basically what has happened is I got in the other day to go for a drive in the morning and realised I only had 75% battery left. I thought that's unusual. I thought maybe I'd forgotten to plug it in, you know. Maybe all those people were right. I should be driving an EV because you forget to plug it in. Anyway, we had 75% battery, plenty of what I wanted to do, so even if I did forget to plug it in, so what. Anyway, got into the driveway and noticed these two warning lights. Now, after a bit of internet research, I found I wasn't the only person to have these errors. It's basically the 12 volt charge light error and the high voltage system error. Now, from what I can gather from the internet, various forums and stuff, is that it could be a inverter failure, which basically stops the car charging, which it obviously didn't do. So yeah, after a bit of research, it seems to be that the cost to repair or replace the inverter, because the charger, DC controller all in one unit, comes in around about $4,000 to $8,000 to replace. That is very expensive for just one very little component. Anyway, delving deeper into it, it appears that it could be just a blown fuse. And a blown fuse on that circuit board caused by a dodgy resistor, which can be desoldered and replaced cheaply. And apparently the fuse is only about 20 bucks. It's a 350 volt 20 amp fuse. Even so, Mitsubishi quoted in Australia $4,000. Other people in other parts of the world upwards of towards $8,000 to replace this part. Okay, so what I've since noticed then is that you'd go find a wrecking yard and buy another part, no problem. Apparently you can't do that because all these EV components in Mitsubishi, and the Mitsubishi technician confirmed this also with this Outlander as well, and it appears Tesla and also Nissan Leaf, is that all electronic components are what they call VIN locked, which means that you have to buy a genuine part. It has to be then recoded by Mitsubishi to suit the VIN number of your vehicle before it can be installed. Okay, fine. People think that's no dramas. Well, the problem is the chip that the VIN number is written to can only be written once. So once that code is on that chip, it's there for good. You can't remove it, you can't erase it, you can't change it. You've just got to desolder that chip and then, put in a new one and with a new VIN number. Well, this is great if your car's under warranty because obviously you're not going to pay for it. But our i-miev is 9 years old now, well out of warranty. So of course an option comes up: find a wreck, replace that part. We buy that part out of a wrecked car, far cheaper, install it ourselves, no problem. That can't be done. So the question comes up: what happens to all these EVs with VIN number locked parts after the warranty expires? Do they become a throwaway items? Because after 8, 5, 10 years, however long these warranties are going to last, what's the car's value going to be worth? Especially when it comes to $8,000 components. Well, our i-miev, we paid round about that for it. So the cost to replace this part could be half the value of the vehicle. Well, I can see a lot of second-hand EVs out of warranty based on this just being dumped, which I think sort of goes against the whole ethos of having an electric vehicle and benefit the environment. Anyway, the car, we finally, after a lot of searching on the internet and trying to decode the OBD2 reader ourselves, which we couldn't do, again due to proprietary software, we took the car up to the Mitsubishi dealer. Anyway, they decoded the errors and found the problem. It is a bad battery ECU controller. Okay, total cost about $1,000 to replace. Ooh, it's still, it's $1,000. So I started looking around for second-hand i-mievs on the internet. None in Australia, unfortunately, but there is plenty in Japan that are cheap that you could probably import. So if it was an inverter, and for the price of say $4,000, my plan was to go to Japan, buy a wrecked one, bring it back and swap the part out. Well, that's obviously you can't do that if it's VIN locked, but you could probably replace the entire... Holy crap, there's a lot of birds on the road around here for some reason. God, birds over the place, cockatoos everywhere, thousands of them. Anyway, if the parts from Japan would be VIN locked, well, that means I have to replace every entire component of the vehicle, including the battery, because apparently the battery is VIN locked as well, which is a right pain in the butt, because I was thinking, great to have a spare battery to put in a home brew EV. No worries, awesome. But yeah, that's not going to happen. Anyway, $1,000 it is to replace this part, which is the battery ECU. Yeah, we're lucky it's $1,000 part, not a $4,000 part. But it does bring up the question, why are these parts VIN locked? The short answer, theft, pretty much. To stop you needing a spare part, going stealing a car, swapping it out. I understand that completely. It stops rebirthing, it stops the reason for vehicle theft, which is good. But it also, once warranty expires, will render a lot of EVs pretty much trash. So I don't know, maybe the solution is, once a car is written off in an accident or something such and such, that VIN number is then recorded by, over here, the RTA, or RMS they call themselves now, and that VIN number can then be removed from all parts, and they're labelling you to use a wrecked vehicle for spares. I don't know. Apparently Tesla do the same thing, and Reach Rebuilds seems to have similar issues. But yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but unfortunately, it seems to be the way things are going. I guess the VIN locking also comes into play too when you want to use some older EVs. Like in 10, 15, 20 years time, there's going to be EVs everywhere. How does that go with the hot rodding scenes? I know, guys like modifying cars. It's going to happen with EVs. Same with the homebrews now. But if all components are VIN locked and you want to build a custom old hot rod or something like that using parts from different vehicles, how are you going to get around that VIN locking? Are you going to be forced to use running gear entirely from Nissan Leaf, a Tesla, or an i-miev, or even an Outlander? Who knows? So looks like future mechanics are going to have to be hackers and coders by the looks of things, the way with this EV evolution. So definitely interesting times ahead, especially when it comes to the modified car scenes and the second-hand spare part scene. So I guess the problem with VIN locking really only becomes a problem for owners of EVs out of warranty that want to keep the cars. Like, I want to keep my i-miev, because I love driving it. It's very cheap to run, I've got solar, so that's great. And also because it is sort of one of the early first modern mass-produced electric cars on the market, which in the future may have some historical value, who knows. But if it's going to get to a point where the cost of replacing parts for that i-miev, especially once they stop being manufactured by Mitsubishi, the cost of these parts becomes extremely prohibitive, then the car will pretty much become a paperweight. It's worthless. Another problem I see with the EV locking thing is obviously with older EVs, second-hand, the cheap cars, people that can't afford to buy EVs new, and there's a lot of people out there that want EVs but simply can't afford them. They'll be looking to buy second-hand vehicles. But if these second-hand vehicles, as they get older, become unfixable due to VIN locking of parts, then it sort of defeats the purpose. That means a lot of EVs will end up in rubbish and scrap heaps and being recycled and actually being handed down to people that can't afford to buy an EV. Especially younger generations, people that have just fresh out of school and just get the licenses. There's all this sort of stuff to consider as well. But anyway, that's my rant on VIN locking, or as I call it, extortion coding, because you have no choice but to buy the part from the genuine supplier and pay their rates, which I think is a bit unfair, especially when it comes to the cost of the parts being half the value of the car that you bought. It really is extortion in a way. Anyway, that's enough of my second ever vlog. I'll do another one soon. Actually, seeing I was back in the PHEV today, I might do another one later about the PHEV and why I love this almost as much as I love the i-miev. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.